obviously you've almost created a marketplace, if you pardon the pun, but you created a market for talent marketplace. But what are some of the misconceptions that Globe faces? Because I imagine there are some.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. So this is, as we're talking about it, this is can be seen as a big shift in organizations. And one of the things, going back to that point about talent management and thinking about it, in almost this 100-year-old approach, there are still a lot of misconceptions that exist, I think, as you approach a challenge like this. And one of the first we hear all the time is just because of the way we've thought about job architectures in the past, right? So the first reaction is, okay, if we're going to do this, we need to slow down and we need a job architecture, we need a skills taxonomy, we need the skills library, right? We need to manually map all those skills to the roles and create the perfect hierarchy, and then we can launch the marketplace. But that's actually fundamentally the reason why a marketplace succeeds so well and why Gloat succeeds so well, is because you lean into the technology, into the AI, to actually put all of that to the side. And not only is it not necessary for Gloat, I actually think it's unnecessary for a lot of organizations in this day and age to go through that exercise. You've talked about it, the diminishing half-life of skills. Right? The sad reality is a lot of these, especially at a large organization, you go through a skills mapping exercise, you go through a career architecture exercise. By the time you're done with it, a full third of the skills you map might be outdated. And even worse, by the time you're rolling them out, when you apply it, when you decide what skills go with project management, are your managers actually going to apply it that consistently across the organization? So now you have the definition of project management or a program manager completely different. And so the skills that you mapped out might not even be applied in the right way. So all of that to say that the power of AI and technology is that you don't need any of that. You can actually start and let the technology do the work for you. And so that's where, for us, we talk about it as a self-evolving skills ontology. Now, the reason that's really powerful is that the system learns from itself. As managers need new skills and post opportunities they want done, the system is learning in real time from, this is a new skill that managers are looking for. Not because we got in a room and decided it was going to be important, right? By the time it rolls into a system, it's outdated. This is in real time. Business needs something. You post a skill, all of a sudden the system sees it. And reverse, when you see individuals saying, hey, here are the aspirations, here's the skills that I want to learn, because you do that all in the talent marketplace, right? This isn't just a top-down approach. This is empowering individuals to say, what do I want to learn? What do I care about? And so when you can have a technology at the center of that transaction, right? That's why a marketplace, you can actually develop a skills ontology almost in real time. So this idea that you need to slow down and do, this big project in order to get started is not only not necessary, I wouldn't even recommend it, right? You let the talent marketplace do a lot of the work for you.
And I guess maybe start with a pilot, within an organization and learn, as you said, work agile, iterate, learn, move on from there. Is there any other, you talk about some of the misconceptions, what's the number one thing holding prospective clients back from moving? Is it this feel that they need to do all this pre-work before they can start? Or is there other things that potentially holds people back?
I think that one is definitely one of them. There's this feeling that you need to do a bunch of pre-work before this can work. The other one, and this ties on some of the themes we've been hitting on, is this idea of I'm not ready, and it's more like change readiness in the organization. Are our people ready? And the reality is that no one's really ready, for a change like this until you just do it. No one was ready for the pandemic, and then you saw HR do just such amazing things, right? Yeah. The really meet the moment, if you will, on some of the challenges thrown their way. And so I think there's this fear that, hey, we don't know how to actually roll this out, or we don't know how to implement it. And that's where I'll say there is a legitimacy to that, because there are change management components that need to be considered. But that's where you need a partner that's thinking about this day in and day out and really specializing in this, right? So the reason we have such success with our partners is that we have a change enablement team at the ready to complement the technology. So when you deal with issues like talent hoarding, or you deal with, how do we actually inspire change with the organization? We have a playbook, we have experts. So when we roll this out, we know how to do it right. So that's really important. I think when you're thinking about talent marketplace, it's not just going to be about the technology. It's certainly not just flicking on a feature of an HCM, right? Because this needs to be a purpose-built solution that thinks about talent marketplace beyond just full-time jobs, to all the different nuances of it, to projects and gigs, to mentorships, and a lot of other things that are on the way with Globe, because we're really thinking about this day in, day out, right? How do you create agility within an organization? How do you even think about learning in different ways, right? Not just learning as taking a course or taking a class of some sort, really learning through experience. But in order to have a success with that, you also do need that change enablement piece. And that's very important for us because we are a full service shop. We work hand in hand with our partners to create a marketing campaign internally, right? To actually create change management and permission and role models within an organization from the top down to say, hey, this is the new way of working. So when we launched at Nestle, we have their US president talking about how the marketplace is the future of work for us. This is at the core of everything we're doing as an organization. And you see the same thing at Schneider and Seagate. You have leadership coming out and saying, this is the future of work. And we work hand in hand with them to create those assets to actually enable that change. And then we have a team that really helps tackle some of those challenges like talent hoarding and other elements. So when you combine this realization that, hey, you can actually, you don't have to slow down, you can move quickly because the technology can do a lot of the work, but you also have a change enablement team at your back. And that is an important one, right? I think I do worry someone going and saying, hey, we have a talent marketplace, flick a switch, technology's there, so hey, we'll hope people use it. We don't think that's going to succeed. But if you combine the technology and the best technology that's purpose-built with the change enablement expertise, we've seen the success. And this is the last point I'll make, not in months or years, right? We're talking like weeks, like within 13 weeks, to your point of maybe it might not be overnight, the full organization and every single type of talent feature within the talent marketplace. But to have impact on your organization, literally within 13 weeks, we can get up and running and making impact on the employees and the business.
In this series, we will be speaking to a range of senior leaders who are pushing a data-driven and digital HR agenda. Make sure that you subscribe via your podcast app of choice and also via our YouTube channel for free and regular interviews with the digital HR leaders of the future.